Trying to solve soul questions, soul problems with a mind has been an endeavor that I've been doing my whole life. We cannot solve soul questions or what the soul craves with the mind. That hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like a train just slammed onto me. This whole time, even with being more aware of myself throughout these years, even after the initial awakening in 2019, 2020, whenever, there's no like specific date, but even after my first dark night of the soul, I've still been chasing answers, seeking answers for the soul from the mind. I'm not trying to disparage the mind, but simply I've given it an impossible task. I've given it a task that I could never fulfill. In the masculine archetypes, is actually the function of the magician. And it's funny because there's so many things reflecting this truth now that I've seen it. There's a channel called the Jungian Aeon, I don't know how you pronounce that, but he writes poems, and the latest one that I saw, it was about the magician. In the masculine psyche, the magician is basically the faculties of the mind. It is knowledge, it is mastery, it is detached, logical, analytical. All functions that by themselves are not bad or good. And the past few months, I've felt myself in the magician. We go through different arcs, right? And the magician is one of my strongest attributes. I've always prided myself in my mind. I've always thought that the mind could solve these problems, so why not solve the problem within my heart? Why not solve the problems of my soul? Not that my soul has problems, but rather analyze it, dissect it. And that is the function of the magician. It's dissection, cutting into pieces. The thing is, the soul is not meant to be cut into pieces. It's not meant to be dissected. The soul demands to be felt, to be in presence, in awareness. It doesn't care about these lofty theories. It doesn't care. And yet somehow I missed that mark. I've spent a lot of time building up my mind, because my mind for the majority of my life was not a safe place to be in. It was full of terrors. It was full of wounds. It was full of faulty perceptions. It was not a safe place to be in. It sabotaged everything around me. So the past few years, I've focused on building myself up, building this masculine drive, building action, rebuilding my subconscious, rebuilding the faulty programming, rebuilding everything. And I've done it through reading books, listening to other people who I thought were ahead of me, or comparing myself to someone else. I've used all these modalities. I've gone deep into them, deep enough to apply them. And I'll say I am happy with my result. In all honesty, it hasn't taken that long to undo a lot of the damage that I had in my life. Thinking about where I've come from and where I am now, I'm quite content. Like I never would have expected myself to make it out of my teenage years. I spent my teenage years wanting to be out of this earth. I spent a lot of my time hating myself, hating others. I spent a lot of time in very dark places, very dark places. So the fact that I'm no longer predominantly in dark places, that I've faced those dark places, that I've come out of those dark places, and now wake up feeling okay. I think there's something there. There's something there. There's something to be proud of. I went through a lot of BS, and I'm sure most of us, and we all have gone through our hardships. We've all been in dark places. We've gone through the darkest of phases. But the thing is, I've been building. I'm so happy I've built what's in here. But I've given it the impossible task. Something that is deeper, that I crave, that I feel. This purpose that is immovable. I've been bypassing my heart. I've been bypassing my soul with the mind, because I know in order to get here, to really get in there, means to feel everything that I used action, that I used logic, that I used my mental faculties to heal and to bypass. And that's simply not something that can work long term. It's not something that will bring wholeness. There's a separation, you see. And who knows, in masculinity, this is a question. This might be a question of tapping into the lover archetype, which is purpose, passion, it's oneness. Or is it tapping into the inner feminine? Is it tapping into something that I've been rejecting this whole time? I don't really have the answers to that, honestly. It's something that I need to explore, something I need to look into more, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. What I do know is I've been using the mental faculty, the mental world, to not really go into the places that I've been needing to feel and to connect to. And really what I'm getting to at is the mind cannot fix what's in the soul. The mind cannot go into the soul. The mind cannot express, especially when we haven't cleared that channel. I'm currently reading The Flowering War, and I really resonate with this part where the longest distance is the distance between the heart and the mind. And in some ways that is the inner feminine and the masculine. Not saying the masculine doesn't have heart, but rather when it's in alignment with the heart, it should be ideally in alignment with the heart. And likewise, the feminine in alignment with the mind. And there's a disconnect there. There's something not going, and it could be so many layers of things getting in between this connection. And right now, I've been focusing on clearing that channel, to not disregard my work, to not disregard the mind, and not, I have some of these. I had to stop reading the book, and it's a non-duality type of book, because he called the mind a garbage can, the ego a garbage can, and I'm like, how the hell is that even compassionate towards the mind? I don't see it that way at all. To call something, it's a garbage disposal, it's a garbage can, I don't vibe with that at all. So I'm like, nah. Like the way he said it was such a disgust. I'm like, how is that spiritual? How is that having compassion? Yes, the mind is full of gunk. I don't think it's meant to be dismissed. But anyway, back to what I'm saying about the heart and the soul. So there's all these layers that get in between this connection. And I feel like for the first time, I'm actually connecting to something deeper, to something that is in here. And it's been difficult clearing that channel into the mind. It's been some of the most difficult work I've ever done, actually. If there is an alignment between the mind and the heart, it's all for nothing. I've been making plans with the mind and doing all these things, taking action, which is good, because I was a person who didn't take any action at all. So we have progress. But what I will say is it hasn't given me that sense of fullness, of purpose, fulfillment, of happiness. Not that we're supposed to be happy all the time, but rather that alignment. And it's taken an earth-shattering realization or ego-shattering realization to be like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. What I want to say is, if the heart and the mind aren't aligned, it's for nothing. You could have all the money, you could all have checked off all the boxes, and I'm not disparaging my work or your work or anybody's work, but at the end of the day, if you're in bed and you don't feel whole with yourself, because it's not out there. We're trying to find it out there, and it's not out there. It's in here. It's for nothing. The mind is great at getting from point A to point B. It's amazing. But if there's no heart there, if there's no alignment there, we're getting to point A to point B based off maybe someone else's desires, or maybe what you think you need to fill that hole. But really, it's here. It is here. And trust me, it's a challenge. I feel like I'm battling this every single day now. Some days are better than others. It's this very jarring experience where I'll go feel very good, very warm, very connected, and then things will come up things will come up with breath, things will come up, doubt, moments of wanting to burn it all down, wanting to just set everything ablaze. And one of my friends, when I start feeling that, she actually gave me this really good question to ask myself, and it's to ask, what is it I need? Like, why do I feel like I need to set fire to everything? And then seeing it's like, okay, I want to connect back here. I want to feel love. I want to feel connected. I want to feel like someone's listening, whatever it is. And that's the thing that I give myself. There's going to be challenges, and your mind is going to think of a bunch of things, not even just your mind, but external forces are going to want to take you out of this spot. It doesn't convenience the society for us to have clear channels like that. So it's going to be a challenge. And this is the book that I've been reading. Very excellent. I'm going to read a little bit of it. So these voices are going to sound like this. Everyone is doing it. It's normal. It's the only way anyone will love you. And it's very insidious, very subtle. So for me, it's been part of it is money, right? Making money, having a career, being a productive person, right? The belief is, okay, I will not be abandoned if I check A, B, C, or D. It's very subtle because it has been for me, but it's also come from an external source. And to live in this weird backwards world, we are chasing these things in order to gain the approval of society, of others. We're sucked back in. Those voices work tirelessly to drown out the other, the one that is true, the one that speaks softly and can only be heard in moments of silence, of stillness, the voice of the soul, of your soul. The voice is always with you. It has always been. In more intact cultures, those that are rich with the ways of the spirit, of the soul, they call this voice the one that knows you best, the sacred twin. They say, the shamans and wise people of these intact villages, that the sacred twin has been with you since before you came into this world. I'm gonna skip a little bit. Your sacred twin grew alongside you in your mother's womb, and together you spent a lifetime in the dreaming while floating in the red-lit, amniotic world. The noise of the world disturbs the silence that is necessary to actively enter the dream time, to cross the threshold of remembering. So you lose track of your sacred twin, but your sacred twin never loses sight of you. It is always faithfully there by your side. Remembering the vision of why you are here. Remembering the gift you came here to give. Remembering your purpose for this one precious life. Your sacred twin calls you back over and over again to the reason that you are here. Reminding you that you weren't born into this world to be what others want you to be. You weren't born into this world to join the procession of the walking dead. You weren't born into this world to lose sight of your soul and squander your life pretending to be someone you are not, to appease others that lost themselves long ago and that, embittered or complacent or both, demand that you do the same thing. Your sacred twin never gives up on you, never abandons you, never loses sight of you. The great heartache and loneliness that most people feel, that you most likely feel as well, comes from having lost your connection to your sacred twin, from having forgotten what is there on a conscious level, but unconsciously yearning to be reunited with it. Many people spend their entire lives looking for the sacred twin in the faces and arms of other people, but they will never find what they are looking for there. They will only find it where it has always been, faithfully alongside them, in their sacred twin. Sacred twin, I think, has a lot of different names and different cultures, different, it is, the way I'm seeing it right now, it's ourselves, our highest self. And it's also describing divine union. It's also describing that once we can hear the sacred twin, which is our soul, our heart, something that transcends everything, that oneness, it's like the divine union, right? We're in this body, we're in the mental mind, and then somehow we start hearing the sacred twin, listening to the sacred twin. And I suppose that's the work that I've been doing now, listening or trying to hear. And it's hard. You know, it's hard because how do you listen to something you didn't even know was there? How do you listen to a feminine you've been externalizing this whole time? How do you do these things that you don't even know what that looks like, or if you can trust it? But that's the work of trust, of feeling the heart, of knowing there's something there. So that's what I wanted to bring up, that we cannot answer these questions with a mind. There's something greater, and I feel like men, everybody's gonna have trouble with this, but men especially, because even the ones that have gone through this great process of improving themselves, self-development, like I have, left out a very important portion. And we could call it the lover, we could call it the divine feminine, the inner feminine, we call it the sacred twin. That part has been missing. I can't really tell you how to get there yet, or if I could ever, because it must be unique for everybody, right? But what I can say is there are ways to clear that channel, whether it's breathing in, listening to what your body and what your heart actually need. So with that, I hope this video has helped you. If you can relate to that, if you felt that disconnection, and even though you're doing all the right things and you're checking all the boxes and you're killing it in business or killing it in the gym, and these are good things, okay? These are great things. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that I've built like a way better physique. I'm proud that I can be disciplined, but I want those really good attributes to go towards my soul, towards my heart. Let me know where you're at, even if you disagree, or maybe you feel you've been there all along and I'm just like one of and I'm just lost on my own. But it's been a great journey, very painful one to say the least. It's not all sunshines and rainbows. I know that on these videos I'm smiling and having fun, and I am, but there's a lot behind the scenes that it's not easy. You know, I don't want you to think, oh, because I'm always smiling and laughing, and it doesn't mean that I don't struggle. It's a huge transmutation process. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, I invite you to subscribe and to like. I will be making more videos like this because I think we need to voice these things out. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know if anyone really understands. And I know there are people that understand. Obviously, Oscar wrote this book. Now that it concerns masculinity and that sphere, it's like I'm rewriting the whole thing again. It's been very interesting. But anyway, thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.